Welcome back to another Lash with Me. Today we are creating this beautiful wispy classic lash set step by step so that you can replicate it at home with ease. I find every time I train students, they overcomplicate these styles, but at the end of this video, you're gonna be blown away because it is so easy to create these looks. All you have to do is not overcomplicate the process. Let's get into it. First things first, we always start with styling because our styling helps us to choose the right products for the job. And trust me when I say, if you're not using the right products, your set's gonna look so disappointing when your client opens their eyes. So the first thing I wanna look at when it comes to styling is my client's skin tone. My client today has a lighter, more fair complexion. This tells me that I need to be very careful and choose light diameters and / or dimensions. I'm actually gonna opt for brown lashes today because I know that because her skin tone is on the more fair side, the lashes are gonna appear way more dramatic than you would expect. Next up, let's choose the mapping. This really comes down to the client's eye shape or eyelid. Today, I'm actually not even factoring in her eye shape. It looks beautiful. There's nothing that really stands out to me that needs to be corrected. Instead, I'm looking at the eyelid. Notice this area here where the eyelid dips a little. I personally feel like covering that up and bringing more of an arched effect to the eye will be really complimentary. So I'm gonna use a modified open eye mapping. Looks like this. We're gonna use lengths 7 through 14 millimeter to cover that area up, which now brings us to our curl choice. So she does have already pretty lifted natural lashes. They're certainly not downturned. If they were, I would choose a different curl. But since her lashes are already fairly lifted, this is gonna look more than dramatic enough. Last assessment step is to figure out the diameter that we're gonna choose. So my client has a mix of strong and weak natural lashes. This is super common for fair skin toned clients to have a little mix of both. So I'm actually gonna mix 0.12 diameters with 0.15s. These are pretty universal. 0.15s are gonna be on the stronger natural lashes and 0.12s will be on the weaker ones. If I was using a black lash today on this client instead of a dark brown, I would opt for 100% 0.12s. That would be more than dramatic enough for this client. Alrighty, we are moving into section number 2 of this video, which is all about application and my technique during placement. I hope that you love this lash with me, by the way. If you like it, I need to hear about it in the comments below. Please do leave your comments. Let me know how you feel about the style video. If you want more like it, I'll make it. If you want it modified in any way, guys, your comments are everything and they help me make my videos so much better. And at the end of the day, all I want to do is help lash artists to thrive. So if you have any questions, please drop them below. We will make videos specifically for you. But back to the good stuff, application. Okay, first things first, which tweezers am I using? I know you guys wanna know. So isolation wise, I'm using Lost Artistry's Curved Isolation Ultra Line Tweezer. This one is so good. A little hilarious tip, which a lot of people don't know, but I also often use this one for application as well. It's like such a versatile tweezer. It is so good for both application and isolation. So I'm using this one for isolation today, and then I'm actually using our Slim Boot tweezer for placement today. Yes, this is a volume tweezer, but you can absolutely use it for classic as well. One thing I will say though is if you're gonna use a volume tweezer for volume lashing as well as classic lashing, and you're gonna be using multiple different diameters with that one tweezer, you want to be cautious because eventually what's going to happen is the tweezer is going to be broken in for the larger diameters like your classic lashes or your higher diameter volume lashes such as 0.10s or 0.07s, even 0.05s, but it will no longer, over time, it will no longer work for the lower diameters like your 0.03s or your 0.05s. It will get broken in for your higher diameter lashes. So if you are someone who likes to work with a range of different diameters, I recommend that you have a specific tweezer for your low diameters and then a specific tweezer for your higher diameters. This is really important because you will find that your tweezers, you'll go through tweezers very fast if you are kind of grabbing them for all different types of services. So when it comes to creating this type of wispy look, you'll notice that I am in fact working in layers, quote unquote in layers, but I'm not actually layering in a sense that my bottom layer is gonna get a different mapping than my top layer. I know when it comes to wispy styles, a lot of the time we will use shorter lengths on our bottom layer than our top layer. But for this particular lash set, I'm only layering because I want to reach the bottom layer and make sure I have full coverage down there. I'm not actually changing my mapping at all. I'm just putting a whole bunch of different lengths everywhere. So in my longest section, for example, in my 14 millimeter section, that section is going to have 14s, 12s, 11s, and 10s in it. And you notice, just look closely when I'm putting the lashes on, you'll see that I'm putting a bunch of different lengths in every section. That's where the wispiness comes from. So please don't get too caught up on layering and different lengths on the bottom layer than the top layer. This is all about just feathering and mixing lengths everywhere. Okay, so a little tip though is the more wispiness you want, the more jumps you should have through lengths. So for example, if I wanted this to be extra, extra wispy, I could go 14 and then my next length could be an 11 or a 10. And then a 9 and an 8. See how there was a jump between the 14 and the 11? That's a 3 millimeter jump, and that's gonna give you beautiful wispiness, like amazing wispiness. Also, side note, watch me struggle take these iPads off. If you've watched my channel for a long time, you know that I don't suggest using our Flexi Hold iPads for lashing in layers or tape, or honestly, iPads that are super, super sticky. Foam pads, anything like that. I don't suggest using them for lashing in layers for that exact reason, because they're so hard to get off. I didn't have any other option today, and I was like, you know what? It's gonna be a great experience for me to talk about so other people can learn from that as well. So I went for it anyways. I knew what was gonna happen, but I still went for it. But our standard gel pads are amazing for that. That's gonna be so much better than anything else you will use for lashing in layers, and it doesn't leave any residue on the natural lashes. It comes off super easy. You're not gonna worry about pulling any lashes off when you're removing those gel pads at all. So highly recommend for this technique, standard gel pads over everything else. But use the Flexi Hold iPads for under the eyes, because let me tell you, your pads are never gonna slip around. Your clients are gonna have way less irritated eyes. Eyes won't water as much. There's no gelatin that's gonna build up around the eyes or anything. It is a game changing iPad. And even for me, I'm someone who gets really sensitive with iPads under my eyes. Flexi Hold iPads don't do anything to my skin under my eyes. No burning feeling, no irritation, no nothing. So those for under the eyes, and then standard gel pads for lashing in layers. And with that, the set is just about done. But before I finish any set, I always want to make sure it looks as clean as possible and it's going to be super comfortable for my client. So this is a really important step to me. I call it my check test time, where I go through every single lash and just make sure nothing's stuck together. Everything looks nice and comfortable. Nothing's looking wonky. There's no misdirected lashes, because honestly, even one lash being either stuck together or misdirected, it really does throw off the cleanliness of the set. So I always do this just to make sure everything looks and feels good before finishing with Super Bonder, followed by removing the pads, which we all know is just the best feeling ever. Also, look at how sticky they still are, and no irritation or anything under the eyes. The Flexi Hold iPads are a game changer. Anyhow, set is done. It's so beautiful. It's so clean. Client loves it, and I would love to know what you think about it as well. Please do let us know in the comments below.